Some people say that this plane is too heavy to be good at bush flying or 3D, and some people are wrong. Hey there, I'm John. This is Two Brothers RC, and this is the E-flite Night Timber X Evolution. It's been a year since it released. I know, crazy, right? The naysayers are still there, and they still think that it sucks, but I can assure you, it doesn't. As one of the few aircraft that scored a 25 out of 25 on our metric system, this bird holds up very well, even if it doesn't fly as extreme as the Bighorn 100 we just demoed. So let's dive into it and see how this thing held up a year later. First up, if you haven't already done the port remapping trick with your Spectrum receiver to get the 7th channel set up on your 6th channel receiver, what are you waiting for? Go do it right now. The link to our top 10 mods video is in the description below. This will give you a 7th channel on your stock receiver so you can run crow, full span flaps, and full span ailerons. For those of you who don't know already, crow is a configured wing with the ailerons popped up and the flaps dropped. This creates a massive amount of drag and allows you to make incredibly slow landings. It's super useful. Get on it if you haven't already. Speaking of, if you're not flying it with full span ailerons, you're missing out on the 3D potential of this aircraft. It's not just the pitch and yaw authority from the massive elevator and rudder that make it fly 3D. It's also the flaps being in the propeller wash that allows it to continue rolling at low speeds so you can perform rolling Harrier passes. Pop tops, flat spins, blenders, etc. The only thing I don't like about the Timber X in general is that I've never once gotten it to do a true knife edge spin. It's probably something intrinsic to the design of the wings, because the 1.5 meter timbers can do those spins no problem, and even the big Timber SWS can do it too. That is my only real issue with the Timber X, and it's been like this since I owned the original back in late 2020, back before old Johnny Boy here decided he was gonna do the old YouTuber thing and try to show people how airplanes work and make model aircraft scores and I don't even know what else. I'm not even reading the script anymore. Back to the script, it does exceptional point rolls, especially with the flaps stabilized in roll using the auxiliary gyro setup in AS3X Plus. Point-to-point rolls look amazing and can be comboed into anything you want to do to push your skills and just rip ass to have fun. Where the Timber X also shines bright is in all forms of Harrier. Upright is much cleaner than it ever was on the original version of this plane, with little or no wing rocking and the ability to fly super slow. Inverted Harrier is a breeze, and you've got tons of authority to get it as close to the ground as you want. It's a weird, stubby little airplane, so don't feel bad if you feel the need to crank up the gyro gains, because I find myself using more gain to do some of these maneuvers to keep it stable and in full control. If you want to fly it gyroless, sure, have at it. It's not my job to talk people out of killing their airplanes. The biggest benefit you'll get from flying a Timber X, speaking of that, is that you'll learn a ton about flying 3D with it. If you can fly even decently well with a Timber X, you can fly the absolute shit out of any bigger 3D planes that are purpose-built to do 3D flying. I mean it this way, I learned to do 3D flying with this airplane. I took it out to the lake every single day in early 2021 and I learned rolling harriers, hovering, pop tops, etc. All that stuff that you see me doing on the channel. And even some stuff that I do with jets, I learned with this plane. It built the foundations of my skills and it can build yours too. Just because it earned a 25 out of 25 doesn't mean that it's the best 3D plane out there. That's far from it. There are way easier planes to fly and fly 3D with, but this one can be looked at like it's a trainer. It takes more effort to fly well, and you'll learn to fly better as a result. It's the same reason why the old Air Force uses trainer jets. You learn to fly bigger and better aircraft that cost more by flying a trainer. This Timber X will teach you everything you need to do that it's capable of doing, and you can follow along with almost any basic 3D tutorial using this plane and you'll be able to do it. I can't tell you if it'll handle the most extreme 3D tutorials with the crazy names that I don't even get or understand or even know how to replicate myself, but I can tell you that it does almost all the traditional 3D flying and a little bit more on top of that. It's just harder to fly, so you learn to fly better, and that's worth the cost to me. Before we move on to the gyro gains used for the Timber X, Horizon Hobby just released a new charger, the S450 Spectrum charger. This is mostly useful for people who are flying on 4-cell packs, like what you would be using in the Timber X here. It has 4 different ports and can charge anything that has an IC5, IC3, or IC2 connector, or if you've got a different type of battery connector, you can get an adapter. On AC power, connect it to your wall outlet, it's limited to 50 watts per port, but it becomes significantly more powerful using a DC power supply, like what you see on screen, at 100 watts per port, which means you can charge significantly faster using a dedicated power supply. In either case, having a 4-port charger is pretty sweet, though it's not inexpensive. If you're a smart battery user, this one is right up your alley. It's just as easy to use as any other smart charger I own and will do 4 packs at a time. Check it out in the description below if you want one. Back to the Timber X, let's go over some of the benefits of having Crow and full span flaps. You saw me land slowly with Crow. You can come right out of a pop top with Crow and land super slow with a little thrust carried on the back side of the power curve. Using full span flaps, you can float around really slowly too. Just don't pull the elevator too much or it will stall and it will crash. Full span flaps are a fun gimmick that you can fly with, and you can switch between full span flaps and Crow on the fly. Opening the wing up to different mixes on the stock receiver makes it more fun to fly, for me at least, and lets you do silly stall stuff that you wouldn't otherwise be able to do with standard flaps. So, if you're looking for even more fun stuff to do, or you just want to experience the sheer joy of doing a stupid landing with Crow, set it up. The link to our 10 mods video in the description below covers how to do this, specifically with this aircraft as a reference point. The setup file is on our Discord server, also linked below. Go snag it for free, and maybe consider being a channel member if you find these pre-made setups to be useful. Let's check out the gyro gains next. These are throttle-based gains. The more airplanes I fly, the more I dislike fixed gains, and the more I find throttle-based gains to be super useful. As the throttle goes up, the speed generally increases, so the gains should come down to avoid oscillation. These gains will make the Timber X feel like a bigger airplane, and thus will make it even easier to use it as a trainer to transition to more expensive aircraft that are bigger and fly even better. But you don't have to fall into that trap of, if it's not my favorite manufacturer, why would I want it? Sometimes airplanes are just fun to fly, and a bush-capable, 3D-capable bird like this is fun. Trust me on this, or don't. If you think I'm a shill, that's fine too. Feel free to miss out on all the fun while everyone else is enjoying themselves. Speaking of fun, Huge thanks goes out to our channel members on twobrosrc.com/supporters, and a very special thanks goes out to our mega fans: Sarasota RC Squadron, Michael Smith, JR Man, Todd, N411X, Jeff Baker, and High Alpha Guto, along with our ultra fan of a very long time now, TBRC fan. You guys kick so much ass. Coming up soon will be the 1-year follow-up on the Freewing A10 80mm Warthog, now capable of doing inverted high alpha passes. Remember when I said it couldn't do them in the tier ranking between this and the 70mm A10 from Freewing? I was wrong. See you guys next week.